Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The Palmerville water reimbursement. I want the board to know that I don't support giving him back his funds. The county messed up and didn't know that there was a hookup in front of this property, and upon digging it up, there is a hookup. They do not have, however, a hookup, showing a hookup at the house. So no matter what, the township would be stuck with this cost, and I don't believe that we should be stuck with this cost. I think that him paying the county and the county reimbursing him, I believe is fine, but I don't believe the township of South Holland should reimburse him for these costs. It is up to us, the county told me, but you know, all the stuff still has to go in to be purchased, inspections and all that. So it is my opinion not to.
But he's saying we're responsible from hooking up to the curb to the house?
From the house to the curb.
Because in Saginaw, it's usually from the property.
House to the curb is the property.
House to the curb, property owner.
So that's what's not there.
Correct.
What
his
did he pay the
expense.
25 for us to do?
What's that?
4100. 40.
That's the hookup.
And is he asking
So-
for 25 back or that?
No, he got his 25 back from
Because he didn't have to tap the main line.
Yeah, I get that, it's already there, but the 4100 is he paid to have the line tapped, correct? But it was already
No,
there.
they pay the county and they pay us.
Okay.
They pay both of us. So he was already refunded by the county and now wants to be refunded from us. So basically, the tap was already there from a previous dwelling. So when they tapped it, they dug up all the lines, the house was torn down, and now we built a new house, and now he's gotta put all the lines back in to actually connect his house. Is that correct?
Yes, and that is correct, but they said they don't have records of an old bill at that address. They don't have no records they've searched, which is confusing because there is a tap and a line.
Yeah.
But if township, I don't feel should absorb those costs if it's all gotta get redone.
And
Was there a
presumably-
building there before even?
That's what they say.
Perhaps.
I looked at the site and I couldn't tell if there was ever a house there.
But when I was explained it, I don't feel that the township should refund this money, at least
Well-
at this point.
And the 4100 is what he would have paid to have it tied in. And they would have stopped, tied it in, and then he would have finished to the house. But since it's there, it was already there, is that why the township reimbursed him, because it was already there?
Township.
Or, I'm
This is-
sorry,
yeah, the
the county reimbursed him
Yeah.
because it was already there.
Because there was a hookup on the main.
But it didn't cost us anything out of pocket to get to this point, correct? We just got his money
Mhm.
for something he didn't need.
He's got to start with us before he goes there. It was the county's opinion that we probably should, but it is up to us. We can refund him.
So they can't find any record of bills on this property in the past. He's saying there was a dwelling there before, but they just happened to find a tap there, so they refunded him. But we have no proof that he ever paid to tap into our system. Now, the amount that you have to pay to tap into the system is based upon the amount that it cost the township to develop the infrastructure, and that amount has never changed.
Yeah.
It's always been the 4,100 for anybody that wanted to hook up. It's basically, this
He's
is how much
paying to
he's
tie
paying.
in.
He's paying to tie in.
Even though there's already a tap there.
Right, the county tap, yes.
County.
So to get it turned on, you gotta pay us $4,100.
Correct.
Which he has already done.
And we already have it, and now he wants it back. And this is a house that he built.
They're building it right now.
They're building it right now. And they've followed all of our permitting process anyways, correct?
Mhm. Very nice gentleman. Just when Trevor Jacobs called me and told me about this, he's like, we feel we're responsible for paying him back the county's portion, but it is entirely up to the township because we still got to connect.
Okay,
Aye.
in action.
One more thing I need to get done. I'll be out of order.
Well, you're still tapping our line, so there would still be a tap fee. The only thing is the county did not have to tap their line, but he's still going to get water through our line, so there would be a fee.
And it says the second party desires to have access to the water supply system of the first party and agrees to pay a part of the total cost of construction of all of the facilities to be constructed and the sum of all other costs incidental thereto. Whereas the water line or lines to be constructed will pass by or be adjacent to the said property described above.
I think that should stay like it was. If the county giving back money because they're not tapping their line, that's their priority, but they're still tapping our system. So there would be a tap fee.
Yeah.
Make the motion.
I just did. It says there's a tap fee.
Yeah, go ahead.
Roll call, Whalen,
Yes.
Shane,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Eddie, yes. Calcolin Township Stormwater Station Rebuild Project. So this is the problem station, Charlie, that is up on Linwood Road. When me and Kayla had sat with the county and kind of got a sticker shock of $102,000 that morning for the rebuild of that station. I said, isn't there a cheaper, less expensive way to do this? And the motor rebuild just for pump number 2, they felt is the only thing that needs to be done. Tim Fitzgerald said that he broke this down and stuff to get us down to $61,437.54 rather than the $102 first proposed, and $102,121.24. They say that all of the electrical in that place is probably leading to a lot of these problems of
Probably the original.
It is.
It's all the original. They've never done that pump house on Wood Road.
So,
There wasn't
we,
one that was rebuilt when we did the 3?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think that one, and that's the one that pumps the village. They don't want it.
this is a very, it sounded like this is the most aged system that we have.
And this is just a plan for the budget, like we put it in the budget, or does it need?
Yeah,
Well, it would come out of our water fund, correct?
yeah, we have, we paid our last bill. We own the sewer system now up to Mr. Chips. It is paid for. Our last payment was in May, so that $68,000 a year is no longer. So they were looking at projects that they felt needed to be done by Calhoun Township on that system, and this was first on Tim Fitzgerald's list. There's two of them, 2 projects currently, but this is the one that sounded like it was on top radar.
Make a motion to pump house on Wood Road.
And that's stormwater, so that's
Yes,
gonna
that is
come out
stormwater.
of which of our accounts? The Department of Water and Sewer. Because the sewer one is a little less healthy than the
I
water.
would say this comes out of the undesignated one. You have the committed fund and the uncommitted, so this would have to come out of the uncommitted fund.
Well, you have to keep the reserves, right? But I don't know if it can come out of the water fund, but the water fund has a better balance than the sewer
Can't come out
one.
of that one,
Yeah.
yeah.
The sewer one got hit pretty hard.
And we're just budgeting for it.
When are we gonna start it?
I believe in the spring. If,
When are they requiring our commitment then if we don't have answers to those
they're trying to
questions?
get commitments on roads and everything this month. Roads are supposed to be, by the 12th.
We're still gonna make the motion, because every year we got a stick and thermostat and a quadrupled electric bill, and it's insane. Every year it's been that way.
Second. Roll call vote. Campbell.
Yes.
Eddie, yes. Shana.
Yes.
Whalen.
Yes.
Planning Commission recommendation from trustee Campbell to request Supervisor Eddie to bring up to the board Jeff Class. I have added Jeff Class to the list. I had a person come in who is retiring from their job, Troy Nalzek. He just retired from the Bay County, or the Midland County Court System. His retirement, he told me, is the 22nd of December. He ran for a trustee in our township in the past. I think he's a proud citizen. And that's where I would like to start. I'll put Jeff on the list. But Troy is the one that I'd like to put on to take Mark Sequin's resignation for us.
So you're not gonna bring him to we can vote on him tonight if you bring him.
I'd like to bring Troy Nalajek to the planning commission. I think Matt needs people. So,
Well, that's why I was thinking the Jeff
It's an
Class
alternate, it's a
previously.
No, we need to.
there's some stuff with that.
He was previously on the planning commission, has knowledge of the planning commission.
So I think what Charles is asking you can bring to the board to nominate Jeff Class for the planning commission.
And the Troy gentleman,
And I just said that and I called the MTHI and they said that no alternates for planning, the ZBA, yes. But I will keep Jeff Class's name on the list.
At the last meeting, you asked people to bring recommendations forward, right?
And I have Troy for that.
Troy's last name again?
Knowledge yet?
You were just meeting with him in your office last week, and Charlie sent this November 25th,
Yeah, Troy's been in a couple times.
last week.
So, let's go forward.
Make a motion to appoint Troy to planning commission.
There's no notification that's coming through that.
It's never been posted.
He didn't get posted.
Don't we post stuff for like that?
It was supposed to be posted, we voted to post it November 10th. And
It's
it
the
never got posted.
supervisors. position to appoint by law.
If the board
And let
decided
the
to
board
have it
decide
posted.
to post. And I've had enough taken from me where I'm holding to it. If you don't like it, I'll keep getting names. Put them on the board. Motion to accept Troy to the planning commission. All in favor? Aye.
I'll say aye, but I could,
You did say aye or no?
no, I did say aye. I just actually seconded
All
the
opposed?
motion.
Nay.
Nay. Now, can you bring Jeff Last to that work?
Just keep bringing Troy.
So you're not willing to bring Charles' recommendations, people?
Not that one.
Just so you're not gonna back up what you said in front of everybody at the meeting. You said no one else brought any recommendations. If they bring recommendations, I'd bring them to the board. The board has brought your recommendations.
I said nobody else has.
Someone has.
But I don't approve of that one right now. So you guys don't approve of what I brought? So we move on. Collin Township, proposed collie pig launching structure at M13 and Erickson Road intersections.
So this poly pig is needed
Because of the walls of the sewer being sticky and gumming up the flow.
and this was going way up 13. From what I understood, maybe I'm wrong, but prove me wrong.
I think it's by Erickson, I believe.
Yeah. But we just got a thing about lower RUs for the account that's north of Erickson.
What on the areas?
Under the RUs, they're saying that
They're down.
they're down.
Yeah.
So we have a reduction in sewage use, but we're going to increase our investment. I remember where I saw it, I have marked actually. Unit reduction is what we're looking at. So will a reduction in the goods reduce the amount of,
REUs are based on their CCF usage on commercial.
correct?
So you were showing or talking to me last week about
Yeah.
they're all down, and that's because the water usage is down, according to Rachel Sharp now.
Well, the interesting thing is their water usage is down, but they have to pump at night stormwater because you can't put it out any other way. So the system, they still have substantial use. How are they paying for all this stormwater that comes through after hours? Because at night is when the system gets flushed because of whatever stormwater or water they have excess at the site. That was our explanation given to us last year, and the year before, and the year before. So now we're saying they're using even less. So when we get to this, we're gonna receive less money, but we're going to invest substantially in the north system. And if their usage is creating a problem, then I think we have to, because this is not gonna be free. By no means.
No, I think that, I told them that there needs to be a sit down with Mr. Chips, and,
Is this a big change? I mean, I want to keep jobs in our area, but at the same time, I want to keep jobs in
this
our.
is, we have the largest, sewer producer in the county.
Because of Mr. Chips.
in the county.
How do we start that sit-down thing?
Gotta go through Fraser.
They're the collection, but that's, it's been, you know, I asked them for the sit-down and they were reaching out to me.
Okay.
Well, the current contract where they reimburse us on their taxes expires in '27. And that's an old agreement that was made many years ago to offset the amount of dumping into the sewer system that we're doing. So that is already in place for the next 2 years, essentially.
But then the DNR changed what they could let be released into the storm water system and ditches up the north. So then they started pumping that excess through the system.
Could we possibly?
They have wishes of enlarging the system, but we just paid off the system from 2002 is when it started.
Could we possibly table the pig until we have the meeting? Maybe they can help some of the costs, because from what I understand, this thing blows the lines out, right?
Yes, it cleans the edges and gets the sludge on moving, which what they told me is it's gonna be less times that they have to clean it out a year. Currently, I think we have it 4 to 6 times. We just update.
It's always been a problem.
Yeah.
Erickson is way, I mean, north of Lily Road, that's substantial.
Anytime this has come forward over the years, which I'm sure Charlie can also attest to, you know, the question arises, yes, it's our sewer system, and yes, you know, we do receive money from that part of our sewer system, but this is a pretty substantial undertaking for us outside of our own township to put this much money into that line for essentially one customer. That's why they still have the line they have.
Yeah, I think that they cause possibly a lot of the problems for the residential customers that are
The build-up.
But we have to, I know Charlie explained to me a lot about how the sewage system works, and if you don't have enough flow, your sludge sits there, and then the more flow, the more clean. So this is just,
It's
you
a
know,
catch-22. It's a catch-22.
and I think what the county's trying to do, everybody, is, we don't have projects lined up, and usually there is, you know, for our township. So I think that they were trying to find needs that they felt was necessary.
If we went to a bigger system, would this still be permanent? Like
I don't
say in 4 or
believe so.
5 years, would it still be?
And it says it should be noted that if there are any changes in the future, the structure would need to remain as part of the consideration with the needs of the system. So basically, we would be creating something that we would forever get to maintain, regardless of whether or not the line was ever changed,
Sounds about right for us.
specifically for Mr. Chips, if I'm understanding that correctly.
Yeah, we get, I think that this would come all the way down into Linwood, the clean out and stuff, because we do have the rest area. We have a multitude of stuff that not every township has.
The rest of the area, once they start remodeling it though, they're going to low flow and, I hate to say it, but let's get real. Every time a urinal flushes, it's a couple liters and they go to waterless like they have in all these other ones. And you're talking a big time reduction. All the toilets become efficient. And they just did it south of West Side Saginaw Road. They tore it to the ground and it will be built efficient. So then our saving grace on the Linwood piece of the line that goes out Linwood Road is we put doors on there. So he can make sure it keeps flowing, but the piece from that rest stop over, that's a whole nother story.
You have nutrient on that line too, fertilizer plant.
Yeah, but the problem is from, that line goes to Anderson Road and out, and they told everybody on Anderson Road and Fraser, they could never connect to the line. I had farmers come and tell me, quote, even though they considered, and it's like, well, they could never connect. But thank God, at Linwood Road, we will have, at Linwood Road, we will have two major people to help keep the line going when they do that, because otherwise, that'll become sedimentary, and then we'll have trouble there.
So are we making a motion to table this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move it to,
So,
Motion to table the pig
Second.
washing structure.
you know,
too many
can we,
favor?
questions.
can we,
Aye.
can we, I don't know how to start the Mr. Chip thing, I know they got 2 years left, but maybe they'd wanna do something in good faith moving forward. If we have a contact.
We're at the mercy of Fraser, and you gotta set it up.
So the Dave MacArthur land splitter too, that was just the one for Kozlowski and Hugo that we already approved.
Oh, I couldn't find his name, so I wasn't sure if it was the second. The Dave MacArthur. And it's done.
So the sewer fund, which I guess we should have had, I guess we can go over at another meeting, but the sewer fund is projected deficit, $7,135. They recommended that we raise it 6 cents.
That would take effect at the February billing, correct?
So we can
We can push that.
off, but just so that everybody's aware
We don't wanna
that,
push it off, because then we're running a deficit already.
well, it wouldn't be implemented. till
Yeah, there's-
February.
I
Till the February
understand.
bills.
It won't be,
I can move it to the bill pay.
Okay, move it to bill there, because it's money.
That's 2 weeks. What is it gonna be called?
REUs.
REUs,
Because those have to be done this month,
6 cents.
because they actually do the bills in
well,
January.
there's a table, Brian, of what we could charge and what the revenue would be, the projected net revenues.
Yeah, that's in there.
Is it in this packet?
We don't have to do anything, but right now we're at a $7,135 deficit.
Yeah. So we'll put that on.
They said some townships choose to do nothing until it becomes higher.
We can look at that a little closer.
And then there is the non-residential sewer accounts in Calhoun Township with regards to REUs, which is what Charlie was talking about, in the change to REUs, new REUs, and quarterlies, and many of them are down on usage. But if you can add that to the bill pay also. Okay, budget amendment for Supervisor Eddie, legal and possibly other accounts. So I went through this budget. Well, some of these, first of all, are the attorney bills from October through November of this year. And I went through the itemizations, added things up. One of the things I would like to do in response to this is for the legal, per FOIA, I would like the board to vote on releasing all of the attorney bills through FOIA and be open with it. the attorneys weren't favorable to it, but it can be done, and I think that transparency is fine with it. So I would like that if somebody FOIAs the attorney bills, that they can see the attorney bills. Because I think it brings truth and fact to situations. And currently we have FOIAs asking for them. And they're going to be denied if we don't allow them to be seen. And I think that the public should see them.
Or at least be able to.
Be able to.
I FOIA'd them in the past, no, I was given them.
I think it'd bring a lot of transparency as to what's going on.
So I thought you were actually working on budget amendments. This is
It
all
is.
just,
It's-
well, there's not a single GL here. So,
Well, the legal, if we go to the second page, where it says budget amendments, these are all 101. I got to learn a lot about this, and I do appreciate everybody pointing things out. Contractual services, we did $20,000 to Spicer Group on an M13 Force Main project alone, which was $20,000. So I didn't realize what GL all of these were coming out of. So after I, had figured this out, we had already paid out $9,000 of that 20, as well as a new toilet design at the hall. I wasn't around for any of that, but $2,422.50 just for that. So, which was never even accomplished.
or approved.
It was never approved,
No, he's never
But-
approved.
never asked for. Previous supervisor chose to get Spicer to give us a quote, and it was never asked for.
So some of these expenses have came out of accounts that it was not budgeted for, including legal. When we made these adjustments and stuff and approved the budget, Summers and Schwartz, we didn't know how much Summers and Schwartz was gonna cost at all at that time. And there went 10 grand out of the 25, just snap of a finger. Renewable energy ordinances, we have $55,448.50 just on our renewable energy ordinances. So when you have $25,000, there's 15.5 right there.
But now we gotta think back. Summers and Schwartz is a matter of the fire millage, and that's in litigation to be recuperated. So that is not a true loss, that is a pay per shift that's,
But it came out of our account.
But that's why we increased the budget. accounting
that's
for
why
that
we made the
10,000.
adjustment.
Yeah.
We didn't adjust the budget.
Cause see, here's the thing. Summers and Schwartz cost us $10,000 more because we got a millage issue. And then as we prepare to do a special assessment district, there goes another almost 15,000, 14,700. So that's $25,000 right there. But that's $25,000 that is not a total loss because it's actually in litigation.
I'm
So-
not disputing.
So we
any
can
of
up
that.
the number.
That's what
because
needs to be done.
This is where we're at. But then it has to be understood, that number can be decreased once we get this all cleared up.
Cindy Dodge in the MTA.
I understand, I know
She
Cindy.
said monthly, a lot of townships amend
Make
their
adjustments.
budgets.
Yeah.
Because you can't
Monthly.
spend what's not budgeted, it's illegal.
But if you were to look at all of our accounts,
We're
we're
in
set
trouble.
to have so much extra money in our accounts at the end of the year. I mean, trust me. My wife's a 28-year, accountant, and she looked at it and she goes, "What's the problem here?" She goes, "Everything's in the parameters. You guys are going to end up having a lot of extra money. You guys need to get done with what were you guys proposing for all of these accounts?" Well, we would like to do some works and stuff, but when it comes to the legal that, was talked about being so high, Charlie, this is some of the stuff that I'm trying to point out, I didn't know that the special assessment district attorney, that Brian called me and said, I talked to Mike, I asked him to be at this meeting. He can't be, but he's gonna send Laura. Well, that came to $6,401 sending Laura to the
I
special
understand.
assessment district. I'm fine with that, but that's over 3/4 of the cost of the whole special assessment district cost.
I get that.
So
That's why I was
So why
actually
does-
saying we should have did a millage, and it was $5,000 to actually
Well-
do the actual millage, which was for the 35th seat.
sitting with
Especially once it
sitting
was
with,
put together.
with Katie Zanati last week, she said that they have just found out that you can't add millages to special elections.
So then we would have waited till August.
She just said no.
And since we're in litigation, we
But
have
we
still
have lost
recuperated.
another.
No, because it was the error that took place that becomes a piece of the litigated evidence.
The error that took place, I as a board member was not here for those
I
errors.
get that.
Neither the FEMA. The FEMA, when I asked Mike Homier how much probably to take care of this FEMA, he says probably 40,000 plus. Well,
Yes.
guess what? Me and Steve Gray did all the FEMA. We did not call attorneys for anything. We did it.
I
We
understand
actually
that.
did it. We got 52 down to 13.
Okay.
So when
but
it comes
here's the
down to
point, though.
savings, we're saving more than what we've hindered by the special assessment district.
I understand there was a savings here, but we still paid. Nobody works in this township for free.
Nobody
You received
asked
a
to.
salary, Steve Gray received a salary, and you know what? You were able to work on those things. Everybody was paid. So to say, you know, yes,
Savings.
we saved, but people were still paid.
And you just said these are gonna be reimbursed because they're in a lawsuit.
When you're in litigation, you receive a portion of these monies back, Brad.
What I'm getting at.
But we
Charlie,
gotta
is
balance our books before
we
the end
do,
of the year.
We do. So.
And they should have been balanced all the way along, if we want to be real factual. They should not be a last
not
minute
far
save
off.
it.
How
Well,
far off
Oh,
are they?
there's a lot
well, all the
of different.
postage accounts have been hit for all of the mailings related to the special assessment. We couldn't even find a single postage account that we could get money out of for the postage meter. In addition to that, we've had no elections, but the deputy clerk was paying himself out of the elections account, which maximized that account when it came to FICA and when it came to Medicare, so that he was offsetting how he had used over 80, almost 85% of his budget already when we still have months to go in the budget year. We are paying outside of the budget with the office help. That is already off the charts out of there. Part of that was errors in not taking it out of the other account, but now it's pretty much maxed out. There are the budget issues with the audit adjustments. That is throwing all of the numbers off in the system, and it's simply a matter of reversing it on the right date. That's all that needs to happen. And then that, it takes care of all of the miscalculations in there. That hampered the tax assessments because all of the numbers were wrong. So that's how this whole thing came out. If there was better conscientiousness in dealing with the accounts and with dealing with the budget amendments, we wouldn't find ourselves in this situation. And it's been months that I've been bringing up the budget, that I've been bringing up budget amendments. And I'm glad that you took the time to do this,
Did you
but there's
ever
not a
contact
single
me?
GL. It was mentioned in a public meeting. And it was mentioned that it was the clerk's job to do amendments, and that you had a statutory duty not only to develop the budget, but to do budget oversight. And here's the thing, not a single GL is in here. So this is a justification paper. There's not any GLs in here that are recommended for amendment. This is not an actionable document.
It's not because you don't want it to be, or it's not?
There's not a stinking single GL. You can't amend the GLs without a GL in here. This is not an
There's
action
not a
document.
whole lot of them that are way off, Mr. Shano. We have this, okay, we have an estimate from Weinlander Fitzhugh for $16,800 in February of last year. So we put in the budget for payroll to help the clerk, Sherry Cruz. We put a budget of $14,569.27 for Weinlander Fitz. And then on August 6th of 2025, the estimate for Weinlander Fitz came in actually under that first one. And we